Hi guys, welcome to another artist live talk. This is Shruti from Team Sanskar, and our performances for today are live now. Today we are being joined by our artist from South Africa. Phulusho is joining us today. And remember, you can watch the performances for another hour and a half till 11:59 p.m. Indian time. We're waiting for a few more people to join us. I will now invite Phulusho to join us. Remember to please send about her work. Hello. Hi.
Hello. Can you see me?
Hi. How are you? Yes, I can
I'm
see
good
you.
on you.
Is
Oh, I'm good on you.
is the voice clear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Phulusho, for joining us today.
Thank you very much. It's been a great pleasure performing at the festival. It's been really a great pleasure.
Yes. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Maybe you can start by telling us a little bit about yourself, your artistic journey as a dancer, choreographer.
Okay. My name is Phulusho Khwiyani. I'm from South Africa. I'm 22 years old. And my journey to contemporary dance started in 2016 where I had my first training in contemporary dance and moving into dance Mopatong. I did my student and the traineeship for 2 years, and when in 2018 I moved to Forgotten Angle under the artistic director of PJ Sabaka, and that's when I've learned everything about contemporary. But before that, I was doing some local dancing where we have like community groups where we come together as kids after school, and then we learn how to dance. And then after that, I thought I had this passion for dance, and then that's when I decided to actually pursue dancing as a career after school.
Okay, so you're formally trained, took most of your training in South Africa, is that right?
Yes, yes, yes. With two
Okay,
institutions, the moving into dance and the forgotten angle theater
okay.
collaboration.
Tell us a little bit about the contemporary dance scene in South Africa. What is it like?
I think slowly it's growing and people are getting accustomed to contemporary dance because it's moving closer, and most of the time we won't have a contemporary dance in the communities. But now we have more people getting training, and when they get training, they come back to the community and start teaching young kids about contemporary dance. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And is there a lot of performances, a lot of choreographers?
There is a lot of choreographers, yes, there is. And there's also in
Okay.
locally, we have people who are very, who are most of them are into like public art, where we like create pieces and then perform it on public spaces. Yes, yes, so that we
Where in
can
South
get more
Africa are you from, Phulusho?
Mpumalanga,
Okay. And
in
that's
Mpumalanga, Emalahlen,
can you
just
can you
outside
help
from
us a
Joburg,
little? Where is this? Okay,
just
just outside of
outside from.
Johannesburg.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours drive from Joburg.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. And tell us a little bit about the piece that you've made and what inspired you, what motivated you.
The piece that I've performed on the festival, it was inspired by what is surrounding us during this pandemic. Um, Usually, I'm a freelancer. After I graduated, I became a freelancer, and it's really hard being a freelancer at this time because we all locked down and then we cannot access anything. We cannot access theaters. We cannot go to Reza. We cannot go to dance studios. So we had to use what we have, which is like you have your camera. You just explore what you need to explore, and then the idea of me having to create the solo piece, I was inspired by the idea on how the government has power over the arts industry because we cannot do anything. There's no job. You're just waiting for a relief fund, which some of us didn't get,
Right.
and it's really hard. It's been 5 months without payment, and then it's very hard to survive also. Yes, that's why I had to like play with the idea and explore and see how will it take me, where will it take me. Yes, yes,
And I saw in your piece that it was so organic with the stones that
yes. That's a
it looks
potatoes.
so natural. Ah, okay. Sorry, it's potatoes. Wow.
It's potatoes. Yes,
Okay. But it was so organic because you were moving around, and every time it would move, you would put it in, like pick it
yeah.
up.
If I touch it, that's the only time I can pick it up. Yes, it meaning that in this relief fund that was there for artists, not all artists had to got they received the money for a relief fund. Few got. So it's me like being the government, and then I choose the few. Yes, yes,
Yes. And what's it been like with the pandemic in South Africa? Is it you're still in lockdown?
yes. We're still on lockdown.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still on
And
lockdown.
how are artists surviving in this time if you say that there's no money, there's no relief? Is
There
there
are
like
few, there are few who receive, manage to receive the relief fund from the government, and besides that, you have no choice. We had to move back from where if we were renting in Joburg, you have to move back to your hometown home because there's no way to go. Yes, so it's really hard for artists that they're really taking a knock. As dancers in South Africa, we're really taking a knock.
yeah, I understand. It's
Yes,
been a pretty bad and harsh time everywhere
yes.
right now. What motivated you to apply to this festival and perform virtually?
I I started following the festival last year. I cannot remember
Okay.
when yes, and then I wanted to be part. I think they were hosting a festival, and then I was
A
interested
dance
in
training festival.
and
Yeah,
for dancers. So
yeah.
I got interested. I was like, okay, I need to go there, but just because I was still in training, I couldn't apply. So I subscribed to the new newsletter, and then when I got
Okay.
the post, I was like, yes, this year I'm doing it because I have time. Yes,
Nice,
yes.
nice. And what do you feel? What's your take on all the performances that you watched so far from all over the
So
world?
I really got so inspired a lot, and I've saw a lot on how you can take one simple idea and explore it to the furthest, and how you can bring something really amazing out of it. I'm really inspired, really inspired.
Nice. How would you describe the contemporary dance in South Africa? How is it different from, say, the rest of the world? Is it something that makes it unique, do you think?
The contemporary dance, what makes it unique in South Africa, I think it's people, different people can interpret it in a different way. And contemporary, you can say it in different ways and with issues that affect you as a country, and that's what makes it different. You can speak on something that is the same in Europe and in South Africa, but the interpretation will be so different. Yes.
Right.
And that
And
what yes,
sorry, go ahead.
and what makes it different is the African in it. We cannot tell it the European way. We can always tell it in an African way. Yes.
Right. And what to you is the African way? What are the things that you want to talk about through your dancing, uh, about your where you're from and what you see?
In South Africa, we currently dealing with this another pandemic on top of another pandemic. In South Africa, we're dealing with gender-based violence, which has been a problem way before, but ever since the lockdown has started, the number of women being killed by their boyfriend has been rising. And then it's been a problem so that we always speak about issues that affect us as women, and as artists we always try to say what affects us as a country, and it's been like a really troubling it's really troubling to actually live in a country where you are not comfortable walking on the street, because anytime you might be get raped, you might get kidnapped, and it's really hard as a country. We're really taking a knock on gender-based violence in South Africa. Yes.
Yeah, that's very hard to understand and hear something like that because I think it's been happening a little bit everywhere. I'm sure in South Africa, I know it's been there for a while now. Like also in
Yes.
India, it's the same. But this pandemic has really heightened the violence against gender
Again,
violence all over the
yes.
world. Yeah. And where do you see yourself as an artist or as a choreographer? If you had to vision yourself, like what would it be like? Tell us a little bit about that.
I've never really thought where will I see myself, but actually, year by year, when after finishing training, you actually don't know where you're going, but you're just allowing it to happen. And one, I would like to move to Europe. I think that it's really, you'll get more opportunities, and I would like to be known. You know, I want to build a name for myself. Yes.
Right.
Mm.
Nice.
Yes.
That's amazing to hear. We have a few questions for you, Phulusho.
Yes.
Question from someone is, how do you train in your city? Do you have dance education institutes or studios? What's the training like?
We have different companies who are providing the non-organizing companies that depend mostly on government funds, and I think we have between 5 or 6, and but I only attended 2. I never went to a university. We have universities that provide training for dance training, and then I train in a non-governmental organization, non-profit organization is, and then you train it for 2 years. It's almost the same
Okay,
education you will get in university. Yes,
okay,
and yes.
okay. Uh, Guys, if you have more questions, please pour them in. Uh, One question I would like to ask you is, you know, the outside world is very unaware of the cultural scene or art scene or contemporary scene in South Africa, African countries, Asian countries, because you know it's not so much in the mainstream. What is your message? What would you like to tell everyone about, you know, how it is like in South Africa and why it's special and why people should watch it more and why it should be on the world stage?
I think for us, for me, contemporary, it means a lot of things. You moving in any way, it's contemporary for me. I think we starting moving to contemporary now and then. You see people, they singing what is contemporary, they learning what is contemporary, but contemporary you can interpret it in your own way. In different
Right.
countries, they always interpret it in a different way. Yes. For me, contemporary is not something that is set.
That is said, right, of course.
Yes, yes. You can always
And
interpret it in your own way. Yes,
and coming from a country that has such strong ethnic dances already, like in India, I know we have so many strong cultural and ethnic dance forms. And I'm sure in South Africa as well, you do, which have been
yes,
there for a long time. How
Yes.
do they influence contemporary dance in any way, if they do in any way?
They do influence contemporary. Then we had like something like Afrofusion. Have you heard of
Mm-hmm.
something like that? Yes, Afrofusion. That's
Yes,
when
yes.
we merged. Yes, I was trained in the biggest school in of contemporary, the Afrofusion under Sylvia Mtlasa Makoko
Mm-hmm.
in South Africa. So
Okay.
we yes, the Afrofusion. That's when um, it was inspired. It's mixing Afro contemporary and African cultural dance, and when they come together, that's when they form Afrofusion. And I think it really
Mm-hmm.
has influenced it so much because we have seen how you can take a simple traditional or traditional movement and modernize it with contemporary, and how it becomes different, and it becomes a whole
Right.
new a signature of moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and formulating a
We,
movement.
we
Yes.
have a question which is, how does the general public react to contemporary dance or art in Africa? How do the people react to it in South Africa?
In South Africa, they see contemporary dance as, oh, they're doing those things that you do with your legs, your ballet. They still cannot differentiate what is ballet, what is contemporary dance. They say,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
you tend too much. You're always spinning on the stage, and we don't understand what you're saying. And it's about
right.
taking them time to actually educate them. Yes,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you
yes.
have a lot of audience that comes and watches contemporary dance out there?
For me, people don't understand contemporary dance, most of the people, unless you performing for artists who understand the
Mm-hmm,
contemporary dance. And hence,
mm-hmm,
most people will do public art. I'm very passionate in public art because I think it's about time we educate the community about contemporary dance. And then so that
absolutely.
not any normal person will want to pay a ticket to come and watch your show
Mm-hmm,
because they don't
mm-hmm.
understand it. But they will
Right.
pay a ticket to go watch a music festival because they know it and they understand it has been there. So
Mm-hmm,
for me, public art is the only thing that you can actually expose yourself to the community and teach the community about what is contemporary. And actually, a lot of people, they are aware, but they are not aware. They know that this
mm-hmm,
thing exists, but they just don't know how to start, how to do it, and where to go. But actually, if we are performing in the public, they can see it, it's for free, and then you're getting a much audience than you will get in a
mm-hmm,
theater. Yes.
mm-hmm. So, like, you need to make people aware of what is contemporary dance before you expect them to come and watch it in a way.
Before you explain it to, so that you can build the relationship already. They know that they're coming to see
Right,
this person. We've seen your work. We are really,
right.
we want to come and watch you. Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. We have another question, which is dancing your main way for survival and to make money, or do people have to do a lot of different jobs? Like in most of the world, with dancing, you have to sometimes have multiple jobs.
For me, I've been from school. I went to my dance training ever since, and this is my first year being a freelancer. So I've been dancing the whole time, and then I recently started something on the side, which I'm starting DJing, and I've been DJing at some clubs to make
Nice.
more money. Yes, but since it's lockdown, I
Mm-hmm.
cannot go and DJ just because everything is closed. Yes,
Right, right, right. And
yes.
what would be your hope like in this pandemic? Like, what do you hope would come out of it in general in the art scene, in your country, in your community?
I would love to see more people coming together and trying to work together and
Mm-hmm.
actually trying to learn more as you can because you don't know when is a time like this gonna come again. And then you will want to have more skills, equip yourself with more skill. Even though we have a pandemic, you are able to sustain yourself and to actually
Right.
survive. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important to actually have another skill that can be your backup plan as time like this
Mm-hmm.
comes. Because as an artist, you don't
Yes.
have a backup plan. You do not have, because
Mm-hmm.
you depending on the money, the money that you get from gigs. And if you don't have gigs, there's no money.
Right. Do you also teach, or is it a trend that a lot of dancers, performers also teach along with their performing?
Yes, I also teach. I love teaching. I was working in the community of Emakazeni for the last 2 years, and I've been teaching a after school program where kids after school they will come to the community hall, and then we'll teach them
Mm-hmm.
about contemporary. And then also we had a different program where we teach people living with disability contemporary dance. Yes.
Nice. How do the kids react to contemporary dance? Do they enjoy it? Is it exciting for them?
It's actually exciting bringing something new to kids. It's always exciting to learning. They're always there to learn and they want to learn and they
Mm-hmm.
actually slowly starting to learn what is contemporary dance. And since it's in the community, you have less people going to like extra activities after school. Most of the people they're playing soccer. If it's not soccer,
Mm-hmm.
you at home. So the dance is what took them away from the street and actually trying to learn new things and learning those soft skills that you will never learn at school,
Mm-hmm.
like how to respect one
Mm-hmm.
another, how to talk to one another, how to work in a team. Because in school, they don't really dwell and go deeper into it because they're trying to push curriculum. You need to learn that, we need to write exam. But actually, in dance classes, that's the only time where you get to teach them that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Absolutely, that's very true. Yeah.
yes,
If I have to end our little chat today with
yes.
what is your vision for South Africa, the contemporary scene in South Africa? What is your hope and dream for the for
Oh,
your community and your country?
it's actually having access in a way that everyone is can access opportunities and can actually be
Mm-hmm.
recognized also. As the arts in South Africa can recognize young people and actually invest more in helping them to help them to grow and to support them financially because as an art industry we always depending on funds as from the government, and we really
Right.
like to see that more. The government actually taking a lot of intervention in helping the artists.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I love what you said about access. I think access is so important for everyone to have access to explore their artistic side and explore themselves and just play with art, engage in it. That's such a
Mm.
beautiful thought to have. Um, what is the first thing you want to do when lockdown ends and everything comes to normal? That's the last question for today.
I'm having I'm gonna have a show with the solo that I've created. I actually
Yes.
performed it in my own house, so I'll be taking
Mm-hmm.
it to the public. The public must see what I've
Nice.
created during lockdown. Yes,
Absolutely, absolutely.
yes,
Everyone should have to watch that piece, and it's still there for an hour more on our website. So please, everyone should go and watch it. It's a beautiful piece. Thank you so much, Phulusho, for spending this time with me and having a chat about your
yes,
journey, your work, your dreams.
yes,
It's been lovely. Uh, I love your vision for your community, for the public. It's so inspiring for me. Uh, you can see I have a big smile on my face from hearing everything that you said.
yes.
So I want to thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a really great pleasure for the festival. They've been so patient with me, even though I had to send some of the things slowly. They were not getting my videos, but at the end, I was like, they're gonna get my video. And when everything was confirmed that I'm in for the festival, I'm really happy. It's my first solo international festival. So I'm really excited. So excited. Just the beginning of
Yes.
my journey, and I'm ready to fly.
Absolutely, absolutely. We wish you all the best, and we are glad that we could be a small part of your very long future artistic journey. We hope
Yes.
that we will see you again and we will have more opportunities to exchange artistically with Sanskar. And yeah, that's the hope. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right, guys, that was a beautiful artist from South Africa sharing her process, her thoughts, and her hopes for a lovely artistic future in her community and for the world as a whole. Thank you so much for joining us. We have more live sessions coming up. The festival is on for today's performances will be there for another hour or so, and new performance is coming up tomorrow. Stay tuned. Please go and donate generously. Spread the word to your contacts, family, friends. Make a small contribution. It will really help the artists and us a lot. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.